You want that?
Hi folks, I'm with Marc Goldberg of Windward Winery. He has a fabulous Pinot Noir, and Marc is a very unusual story, don't you, Marc? You started late after being a hospital administrator.
No,
Tell us how you figured out that Pinot Noir would grow here. Marc is a fabulous Pinot Noir guy.
Well, we were searching, my wife and I, Maggie the Ambrosia. We were hospital administrators, but our hobby was the wines of Burgundy. So we were searching for land, because Burgundy is about geography. It's about a sense of place where a varietal will flourish and be capable of drawing all of the mineralization and properties out of the soil that are required in order to make a Pinot Noir that has varietal fidelity. And of course, you know as well as I do that that variety, Pinot Noir, is the oldest in France, 1,500 years. It was the wine of kings. Napoleon Bonaparte would drink his Chambertin with yellow seal.
He marched his army by and bought it.
Right, and of course over the years, the kings, the Duke of Bourbon, and they would say, no, you pull out this stuff, we don't like this stuff, you leave this in, this is the wine we like. And so they've had the advantage of, 1,000 years or so of finding a great marriage between soil.
So you wanted to build a wine with that kind of history, right? You
Well,
wanted to build a Burgundian style Pinot Noir.
My vision as a hospital administrator was to drink as much as I could get, the Burgundy, but my vision for retirement for Maggie and I was that perhaps because America was making a Pinot Noir that stylistically was called the New World Pinot Noir, and they were not using the traditional Burgundian methods of, being minimalist and just allowing the vineyard to make the wine,
right,
and not interfering too much in the production. In fact, I don't think there's even a French word for winemaker as much as there is, they just call them the Vineyard.Mov, and that's the person that's in the vineyard. And so we wanted to be able to say, here at Windward Vineyard, I don't make the wine, I'm not a winemaker, I'm a wine shepherd. Windward Vineyard makes the wine, and I follow it in, make sure nothing bad happens to the grapes. And eventually, then we could say, like the French do, the goût de terroir. The vineyard is speaking about itself.
Goût de terroir.
By the wine in the glass.
Sure.
So that was our dream, to make a great American Burgundian style Pinot Noir and not make it in the New World style. So we had searched around everywhere for the right property, the right kind of combination of microclimate and soil that would replicate the similar situation that there is in Burgundy in France.
What is it about this soil that's so good for Pinot Noir or Burgundy?
Well, if you're driving down the road like we were and you see the cut in the road and there's all this calcareous material embedded in the soil, Pinot Noir likes that very, very much. Then you realize that the microclimate here on the west side of the Paso Robles appellation is falling off in the Pacific Ocean. And so at 2:30 in the afternoon, as it's heating up in the Paso Robles area, and here comes the wind to cool down the fruit a little bit. And then that night, it'll be 50 degrees. So the fruit will wake up cool in the morning. And as it heats up, then here comes the wind, and then at night, the diurnal temperature differences, which are staggering, and Pinot Noir loves that to balance the sugars and the acids. And so,
when did you begin planting?
1990, there were 12 wineries here, and now there are 212.
Wow, that's impressive. And you love it.
I love it. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, and how deep? I remember when I was in Beaune and I was at Laurent Ponceau's caves, he showed vines growing down into the ground at the back of his cave, almost 40 feet from the surface.
They will go
Those
down.
old vines.
Yeah, the older they get, of course, the deeper they go. We've been here 20 years, and we're probably 20 feet down.
And they're picking up all kinds of minerality and all kinds of flavors from the soils.
Right, and our
Marvelous things that make a Burgundian wine drinker very happy.
vineyard is a 45-million-year-old upthrusted alluvial plain with rocks on top, calcareous material dusting the subsoil. And Pinot Noir just loves that. And this is an 07. It's been open a couple days, so it might be a little bit mandarized, but
Beautiful. Really.
I thank you. It's nice to meet another Pinot Filiac.
Ah, yes. We love it. You've done a marvelous job here. How many acres do you have under cultivation?
Only 15, and that's about all we can do. The whole piece is 26, but with the house and the outbuildings, 15 is about all we can do. We have 4 great French clones, a couple of suitcase clones that were brought over by the Martini clone, which was from
Osha. Yes, we are. Don't you worry. So how many barrels?
Martini clone, Romani Conti.
Romani Conti.
Right,
and
and
the
then Andre,
DRC. Beautiful.
and Andre found from Parmesan, his friend, they found some clones that they had brought over that were from Champton-Clotabes. And so that's another one that we have Pomar's clone. So, like in France, you don't find people planting a vineyard to Dijon clones,
Yeah.
100% Dijon, monolithic kind of approach to Pinot Noir. In fact, Dijon clones are not from Dijon at all. Dijon was where the post office was, where they mailed them to California University to examine and certify them. But they're really from Maurice Saint-Denis. They're from Maurice Saint-Denis. And of course, that's the coolest region in the Burgundian area.
Yeah. Do you want to stop that?
No, that's really
We can cut
against the
this.
wall.
We can cut this. No problem.
Oh, Bradley. Yeah, that's Bradley Ogden thing.
Mark, how much are you barreling each year? And how long are you letting them stay in the barrels?
The barrels, as you can see, they're made for me, Sigamarow, 3 years French dried, or air dried in France. And it varies. Some years it will go 12 months, some years 15. I think the longest we've ever put, because what we're looking for is the Burgundian balance between the oak phenolics, the acids, the sugars, and so forth. And each year, each vintage is a little bit different, and so we just wait for the proper moment when the balance is there and say, okay, we got it, let's go.
Beautiful. And how many barrels are you?
Well, this is the 11, and it was a disaster around here, a triple threat, agricultural disaster. So everybody has very, very little wine. I usually harvest about 2 tons an acre, so that's 30 tons, and I only have 12. So if I make 800, 900 cases this year,
That's it.
that's about it. Usually we make between 15 and 2,000 a year.
But it's beautiful wine,
Thank you.
and I recommend it to our readers. And if you look on the page, you can find Marc's website and just click on it and take a look at what he's got. It's beautiful wine. We love it. Thank you for the interview and the time. We really appreciate your time. I know you're busy.
No, thank you, and to your readers. Salute.
We need to put the door down. This is overexposing everything I'm doing on your the bright light.
Hang on, let me take this off.
So we can